Hi guys, hi everyone. Great to welcome you along on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon here in Europe. And I'm assuming we've got a worldwide audience watching, so might not necessarily be an afternoon for you guys. So I'm curious to hear where in the world are you watching from? What's your location? How beautifully diverse is our community right here over live webinar, and I'm thrilled to take you on this tour guide of our platform, as well as some useful information because it doesn't come at a cost with us, on how to create webinars that actually boost your sales, which is I think one of the most relevant struggles nowadays, as everyone is trying to increase their margin and make sure that those sales actually happen substantially. And I think webinars are just a fantastic tool to add into the mix, that gives you that personal touch, which we tend to be lacking nowadays. So I'm very happy to welcome you along. And yeah, let's just get started then. First of all, let's address the elephant in the room. We do have a Black Friday sale that's happening as we speak, and it will last until 6th of December. So we're giving you a bit of a runway, to try out our software to get acquainted with it, and really kick it off this fourth quarter of the year, this preseason sprint that we're all in. And yeah, I firmly believe once you try off the tool that we came up with, you're gonna have some, let's say, orientation, and yeah, you're gonna find your feet. I'm absolutely sure that the coming winter, the coming year will be under a very large influence of marketing campaigns and of actually proactive, let's say, sequences of actions that you might want to take in order to grow your business, in order to grow your side hustle. And really, there's no other way than just getting it out there. And I think, once you claim the minus 50% deal this December, it will be much easier for you to get going in the coming year and have that bit of a runway already there. So with the code BF24 given at checkout, submitted at checkout, you are eligible for 50% off monthly plans. And again, that just builds up on what I said earlier with the runway, and with the ability to actually familiarize yourself with the platform, and put it to wonderful use this spring, this coming winter. A tiny word about me. My name is Adrian, and I do have a couple of years of marketing experience. I work here at LiveWebinar, and then I'm coming up with numerous ideas on how to make, again, how to put those strategies that I'll be talking about into a good use. So I'm a marketer by design, and by education. And yeah, you've got my word. You can rest assured that I know what I'm talking about. And yeah, really, really curious to get some of your questions, because I'm sure there will be many. At least that's what I aim for. So here's my email, and I'll be very happy to answer some of your questions. Maybe not some of them, all of them actually. So yeah, that's I think enough about me, because I'm not the star of the show. The star of the show is our platform, and the big question, another one of those elephants in the room. So we do have quite a number of them today. How to create effective webinars, because creating a webinar in first place is nothing challenging. The real challenge lies in actually making it work, in making it convert your target audience. And we've come up with a formula here at Live Webinar, based on the observations, but that we've made in the past, and the experience that we have, which, trust me, is actually substantial and significant. And we do have a formula on how to make it work. So let's just dive into it. First of all, building brand authority is one of the main compounds of a useful webinar, and the sheer meaning of brand authority. I mean, it might be a cliche, but really, if you think about internet, there's probably like 5 companies that you think about. You probably have a site, a vision of Google search engine page right in your head. Or when you're talking about a phone, you probably have three companies that service most of the market. And that's something that you should aim for, independently of any other webinar or marketing channels that you employ. That's something you should be aiming for within your business, to be an actual leader of the brand, a leader of the industry, to get your exposure from as many channels as it's possible, to really put yourself out there, and sort of dominate the space when it comes to asking the fundamental questions: where does my audience hang out? And then reaching out to them, and then participating in those places. So for example, Facebook groups, maybe that they are consuming some particular media in a particular corner of the internet, or conventional marketing is also a very good idea. So the majority of the struggle, and the majority of what you have to do, is indeed before the event, is in the build up towards that event. And it does go by the name of brand authority, of having that sort of gravitational weight attributed to what you do within your desired niche. So that's the first step. And building on that, really, we've got a lot of building happening in this webinar. Building a personal brand is also very important, because when I say Apple, you probably can imagine Steve Jobs, even though he's for a long time he's not a CEO of the Apple company anymore. But his personal brand is so powerful, that even after many years after his passing, he's still relevant, and he's still this sort of beacon of direction for companies servicing and producing goods. So again, you probably thought in the first point, you probably, when I mentioned the internet, and you probably have like four companies that can come up to mind. There was probably Apple in it, and building on that Apple example, you probably think Steve Jobs when you envision what Apple has done. And so, in this grand scheme, sort of copying and pasting it, or maybe even transposing it to your own situation, that's something that you should absolutely aim for, regarding the brand authority aspect, and a personal brand one. Um, and then you can absolutely go ahead and onboard employees and clients, and make sure that everything is on the same page. And that's a wonderful example why webinars can be so effective. And then what's the main purpose of them, is to provide that sort of default setting to whomever you're talking to. So whether you're building your brand authority using webinars, whether you're building a personal brand using webinars, or whether you're onboarding employees or clients, there has to be this element of defaultness, of providing an almost ready-made solution, or ready-made information, that they can only consume, grab, and go ahead and perform the action that you want them to perform. So this sort of aspect of them being, and again, I'm going to repeat myself, but this default setting attitude that you want to instill in your audience is another very important aspect of what makes webinars effective. And whether you're operating in that particular niche with onboarding employees or clients, makes no difference. That there's just another dimension of what we actually demonstrating right here and right now. Finally, generating leads, and making sure that those numbers add up, that you're in the green, because after all, if it's not quantifiable, what's the use of it? And that's another very important aspect. So you could put webinars into generating leads, and make sure that they are really this catalyst of traffic, just happening at the doorstep of your business, whether it's digital or it's brick and mortar. So again, that generating leads aspect of webinars is a very important one, and it's a very let's say, big rule to live by, to generate those prospects, and to have them quantified at the end of the day. Finally, just as as a way of yeah, of underlining what I said earlier, increasing sales and making sure that it's all positive, and that it's all has a viable impact on your business. That's one of the key spices of preparing a good webinar. And then again, product presentation. This all is a set of rules that self complement each other, that are viable ingredients of a good webinar, and that also serve as possible dimensions or employments of live webinar, and webinars as a sort of larger sense of your marketing channel. So moving on, types of webinars. This is a very important bit. So let's just dive into it. And again, webinars can be very varied when it comes to the type and the meaning and the key characteristics. But then again, whether you're generating leads, whether you're actually driving more sales, or whether you're onboarding people, this is all different flavor of the same ingredient, really. And there are rules, and there are some key informations that you have to keep in mind whatever you're doing. So again, from that very build up to the final execution of your event. And with the current advent of technologies, we really are losing this human touch through other means of marketing. But webinars do allow you to be that sort of a human interface between you and your target audience, regardless of the final destination of what you're actually willing to kind of push when it comes to the message, whether you're trying to generate leads or convert them better enough, or maybe you're trying to have webinars serve a purpose of, let's say, just from the top of my head, really, onboarding and recruitment. This is all a very formidable vessel to achieve your means. And then what's very important is to have this sort of mechanism that will drive conversion, that will actually make people sign up for that event. And tickets can be a very useful feature that we do support. And in fact, you should think of every webinar that you host as a ticketed event, as something that has a certain value attached to it, whether that value is from the knowledge that the people gain, or whether it's from networking. It has to stem from the price that the attendees pay, and obviously the price can vary as well. The price could be a paid ticket, and that's, it's difficult to come up with a more tangible definition of the price than money. But please bear in mind that the attendees are also paying with their time and with their attention, and I'm sure that's important, to the degree that people are right to expect something in return. So be sure to have that term in mind, that the attendees are paying for the event either way, and it's up to you to repay them in some sort of information, guidance, help, or maybe just some tips and tricks. And that's what we're doing here today. Finally, it's very important to have webinars run up to a deadline. So we've mentioned previously that those ticketed events, they really have this sort of mechanism of urgency and of information trade employed and baked into them. But what really tends to do the job for us, and that's knowledge we derive from years of experience, is to have a proper build up to the event, a proper scheduling in place for that webinar that we are hosting, and that just allows everyone to sort of have a structured approach to what they're consuming, be it from the attendees, the regular attendees, and also for you. It's very important to have this sort of a build up sequence enables you for the campaign to find itself in the right place in the larger environment of your marketing activities. So again, working on a deadline is beneficial for both parties, whether the host or the attendee. So, going live, making sure that it's automated, making sure that you actually charge for the event, and keeping in mind that the charge is there, whether it's in the form of attention and time, or whether it's in the form of paid tickets, which we natively support in LiveWebinar, so you can host paid webinars without any additional hassle or additional payment gateways. Making sure that the deadlines are met and that you have a proper build up to the event. And also a very important bit is that the right time and day of the webinar is also vital, because probably um, you probably are living in across the globe in different time zones, so it's equally important for a successful event to be compatible with your audience. And that's again that's something that touches on the aspects mentioned in the first part of the presentation, with you staying up to date with your audience and actually asking those key questions. Who are they, and then where do they hang out? So that's just a consequence of those approaches listed out in the first place, that can also serve as potential use cases. So again, those things are interdisciplinary, and once you put some thought to them, um, most of the answers for most of the questions are really there. So yeah, just another important aspect of what we're doing here is automation. Is that human, and again, in conjunction with the human touch, it can yield serious benefit to your business, and it can remove some of the burden, the organizational burden from your shoulders, and it can free up your time, free up your space, your mental. It can give you mental clarity to work on the aspects that mean the most to your audience. So, how to promote webinars? That is the $1 million question, because you can have the best tools in the world, but if you do not promote your events accordingly, the build-up phase will inevitably fail. And so we do have a number of solutions for that here at LiveWebinar. First of all is email marketing, and that's the legacy, that's the classic way. There's nothing wrong with it. It tends to be one of the most effective ways to drive people's interest towards your event, and we do employ that very method ourselves. We do have a wonderful mechanism of inviting people ready at the fingertips, if you commit to our one of our paid plans, which again I'm gonna repeat myself because we do have people joining in. We do have a 50% off Black Friday deal for every new monthly plan, for every new account that settles and then goes ahead with a monthly plan. So you can give webinars a try. You can run them for some time and find your feet, and then start driving conversions and traffic to your business through this particular webinar funnel or marketing channel, whichever way you want to call it. It works wonders either way. So yeah, email marketing is one of the most trusted ways to drive audience. And an important bit to mention is that you're really touching on the audience that has already agreed to be a part of your marketing activities. So it's naturally going to be the most efficient way, because you're tapping into the familiar zone, the familiar waters. Another way that we do promote our webinars is through social media ads, through paid campaigns, and that's a bit of an expansive method. Expansive, not expensive. It doesn't have to be expensive, but it's expansive in a way that it sort of gathers new people that might be a cold audience essentially, but it can still yield wonderful benefit to your company, and it's a fresh intake of leads to your business. Another one, which we tend to be huge fans of, and we really appreciate it. Its effects is video marketing, and again, it's a synonymous, it's a cousin of webinar marketing, really, and that's why it's so easy for people to watch a video and then convert onto a webinar, because it's synonymous with each other. It's self-complementary, video marketing and webinar marketing, and yeah, we really are huge fans of video marketing, and we do employ it whenever it's possible. Another one of the methods is collaboration, cross marketing. And to quote President of the United States, it benefits everybody, hurts nobody. It grows the economy. And it does really grow the economy because you are giving a platform to you're giving a platform to a complementary service, as we did with Landingi, and in return they co-promoted the event with their own audience, so their audience could learn about live webinar and vice versa, and that's just a win-win situation for everyone, because you are exposing yourself to a untapped audience, and you are gathering and then gaining expertise from all different fields across the internet. Next in line is communities, and that's a mean of advertisement that is again synonymous slash cousin of email marketing, because really the mechanic is largely similar. You are tapping into the audience of people who have already agreed to be notified about developments or news on a particular subject, so they are not sort of brand new fresh leads, but again, the potential to act on a call to action is much larger, and naturally you're going to see a better return on those sort of pools of audiences to utilize, and that's something that at the end of the day you should be aiming towards. Your website is another one of those wonderful pools of people you can tap into, and again, this is a very interesting bit, because it encompasses the characteristics of groups of email marketing, which is again tapping into the people that have already expressed their interest. But if done correctly, and if done with the right mindset and knowledge, it does also have the perks of paid ads and video marketing. By that I mean if done purposefully with an SEO mindset, because you are going to have audiences flocking onto your website from all across the internet, if you decide to optimize for traffic in the correct manner, and that gives you a fresh influx of leads and of people that will be deep down open to new knowledge. So if you employ correct call to actions, if you put them in the right places, and you go about your marketing correctly, you're looking at a very efficient way of driving engagement and audience to your events, and further down your sales funnel. And another one of those wonderful bits that we do support. So in addition to email marketing, you might come across a question: how do I measure all of that, and how do I know what's the most effective way of putting those all those channels into a good use? And we do come with a solution. We've got a wonderful tracking dashboard, analytics dashboard that showcases every single visit and every single attendee that show up to your events. And it really is in one of the industry leading dashboards and sources of information on your events across across the industry. I don't think you're going to find it in many other pieces of software, this sort of analytical depth that we are indeed providing. Concept of a marketing funnel is another one of those aspects that I've already mentioned, I've already brushed upon, and that really is the core of everything that you are doing within the marketing. So, in order to have some sort of imagery to support myself, why is it called a funnel? Well, you can clearly see the sort of downward trajectory of the people going through it, and that's something that I've mentioned with a website as a mean of reaching out to new audiences. You're gonna have people that will be essentially cold to your sort of target audience, to your call to action. And this will be the largest group naturally because they will be looking through the internet for some piece of information, and they are going to come across your website, and maybe that will be it. Like they'll be satisfied with the information they got, but maybe their intent is a bit deeper and a bit more serious, and they are going to fill out the form. And once they do fill out the form, they might just register for that event that you'll be pushing through your email marketing, which is a fantastic scenario. And I really hope everyone from your within your marketing funnel do that. And once they register for the event, they might be receiving those pieces of email communication that you'll be sending on to them. But they might just have a kid to pick up from school at the time of your event. So you might not be able to kind of lure them into the event itself. But some of them will be available and will happily join because you'll be presenting secret knowledge in your field, top 1% expertise. Um, but some of the people might again drop off at this later stage of the funnel because they do not feel like they can catch up with your knowledge, and that's fine. But some of them will remain to the very end because they will remember that you've promised them a freebie, a PDF that they will be given automatically after the event, and that's a feature we also support. So they will stay at the end, and that will be approximately, give or take, 15% of your customers. So if 1,000 people went onto your website, you might just have 150 people who have attended till the very end of your event. And once they get that freebie, there's actually a lot of knowledge in that freebie, and they might be wondering, well, if that's free, what kind of knowledge are they offering in the paid courses, in the paid plans? And so they might be able to pull the trigger on a payment for your course and for your coaching, or for whatever service you might be providing, and that will in the end turn to hard profit, to numbers. So, with that, I'd love to invite you guys over for a quick demo of how you may set up an event with us. So let me just get it all ready, and I'll be happy to show you around our platform. So, welcome to the platform. This is the screen that you're going to see upon going ahead and setting up an account with us. So the screen can be divided into two main sections. The one on the left, which sort of serves as a hub, as a safe for all the settings and all the structures that you might want to build out, and then you put them into use in the main white section, white, or is it gray, lighter section of the dashboard itself. So let me just go ahead and schedule a webinar, because that's going to be the default way. Now, we do have three types of an event. First of them is a scheduled one, and that means you'll be able to schedule your webinar on a specific time and date, and that's sort of a conventional way of setting up an event. Then you might have a permanent room, which is a room that's open all the time, and it might be particularly useful for people who are running their teams remotely, managing their teams remotely, and you might just want to have a short discussion with your coworkers on a particular project, or what might be a useful way for them to act on a certain matter within the workspace. So you might be able to kind of call them into the room, and that's way easier than just setting up a new room every single time. So a permanent room is a fantastic way of having that live and ready to go at any given moment. Finally, you do have an evergreen functionality that serves as a vessel towards automated events, and you can have it running on demand, or you can set up a time and date at which the event will go live. And the core of the functionality is an MP4 file player that we've got included in our software. All you have to do is select a video from the storage, or paste a YouTube link or a Vimeo link to that pre-made recording, and then you'll be able to have it run again on demand, or at specific time on a specific date. But let's just go with the scheduled one, and let's just give it a name of test 27th November. That's fine. No overlaps when it comes to the event name. You can add recurring deadlines to the event. That's also possible through our recurring webinars functionality. You can restrict access to your webinar room, which is a fantastic way of having that additional layer of ownership and of decisiveness over who gets to join your event, so that there are no leaks, or there are no problems regarding what kind of information might be shared with whom. So let's just schedule it. And I'm going to have a sip of water. All right, and this is the screen that you're going to see. You've got a number of tabs ready to go, and we're going to go through each of them so that you're up to date with all the functionalities that you have at your disposal. Now, our events are usually divided into three tiers. The first of them is a presenter tier, which allows you to control the session and manage other attendees. And this is sort of an omnipotent permission that you can share across the people who will be, for example, panelists, and they need their own screen sharing settings at their disposal. So as a step below that is a moderator permission, which allows you to moderate the chat and be sure to explore it as well. But it won't allow for that particular user to share their own screen and to have this sort of autonomy when it comes to making decisions within the event itself. And finally, the lowest of the three tiers, attendee, it's a basic one, really. It allows you to consume content in a sort of a passive way, so that there are no disturbances throughout the event. Moving on to the basic settings, you're going to see the exact same screen that you've seen upon setting up the event in the first place. Another one is presenters, which is a presentable way to display your panelists or your featured guests at the event. So you'll be able to create personas, avatars, silhouettes, maybe of your panelists and people who will be presenting throughout the event, and they will be able to be displayed in the waiting room. A waiting room is a screen that is sort of a buffer zone between the event and the registration form. So once you've filled out the registration form and the event has not yet started, you'll be in the waiting room, and you'll be able to wait for that event to happen. Once it actually goes live, you'll be automatically let in, asterisk if/when the presenter decides to let you in. Registration, it's a very, very deep and vast topic. So you can set up your own registration forms. You can customize them to an immense depth, and that's a wonderful feat of our development team, who have done a fantastic job of just providing all of those variables and all of those modifiable aspects of how you might wish to modify your registration page. So you can capture all sorts of data, and that's only up to you. What kind of information do you want to capture? What is the preferred layout of the registration form? So we do have some sort of fringe cases displayed right here, but let's just open one up, so you can see a very fancy, very colorful background photo. But it's a drag and drop, and you can do whatever you wish. So you can delete fields, you can add them, you can have a password input, which will then sort of hide the characters themselves. You might want to have a checkbox for GDPR purposes, and I'm sending my sincerest greetings to everyone based in Europe, because we do need to have that at all times. So that's just a plethora of options at your disposal. And again, you can set up, you can employ marketing automation integrations, which just sort of synchronize everything in real time and make sure that you're operating in a larger ecosystem of marketing technology, essentially seamlessly. So that's a very important bit for us, as we are marketers ourselves, and we do understand the importance of it integrating together without any major problems. And that's the concern. That's the idea that our developers have taken care of absolutely wonderful, and I cannot thank them enough for that, because it really does save a lot of time. So as you can see, we've been transferred into a different sort of screen, and that's a reference to what I said earlier. On the left, you've got this sort of even like an admin section that allows you to set up fixed structures and fixed objects that can then be employed, plugged in or plugged out of your events. But we're going back to our test 27th November. We are going to edit it. And yeah, once you trigger registration, you've got all sorts of different settings that you can customize. So you can have one-click registration link, which sort of fetches information from your email marketing software and enables a smoother way into your events for people who have already registered for that mailing list. You then can restrict the registration to only accept people from a work email address. So no Gmails, no Yahoos, no Outlooks, no Hotmails. For all the UK-based people in the chat, again, sending my sincerest greetings. You can allow registrants to join multiple sessions during an event. So that's just sort of a quirky way of not restricting access to people who have registered once. You can block registrations at the start of the event. So the ship might sail at, for example, 5 minutes past the time of your event, and that's something that you can add in order to increase the fear of missing out. You can then turn on reminders, which is a sort of an automatic way of pinging people to join in the event. Moving on to the appearance section of the room setup. You absolutely can set up webinar landing pages, and that's a feature that we do support. And we do have a very fancy editor in place for that. So you get to address all the scenarios that might pop up throughout the event. So you can design a page stating that the event has not yet started, and it's sort of a waiting room-ish step for people to spend the time in, and sort of you can keep them hooked with that agenda printed out or a YouTube video to hook their attention in and sort of not let it go elsewhere. Again, this section will be replaced with registration form. So that's sort of a placeholder for everything that we've done in the previous step. After registration, you can set up a thank you page, which will, again, reward, if you wish, your attendees with a particular item, with a particular video, link, document, image, QR code even, for them to go elsewhere. So that's something that you can absolutely customize and make sure that it's working to your requirement. Event has ended, which is a sort of a page that's being displayed for people who will join in the event once it's done, once it's gone. And you can, for example, embed a link to the recorded footage of the event that's been uploaded to YouTube, or you can do what countless instances, so that the world is your playground. And if you've got those past events that you've been taking care of, then that really can bring something of interest to your attendees. Embedding them here in the form of a YouTube video or Vimeo or just a plain link is a very good idea. And then a leave page URL, which is sort of a drop-off page after the event. You do not necessarily have to employ our solution. You can enter your own URL, but that's building onto that automation mindset that we've been talking about earlier. So again, you can set up your room background image or your room banner image, and that's also another dimension of customization that's available to you. Tracking. Now, this is a very important bit of what we're talking about, because as marketers, if it's not trackable, it's essentially fairies. Let's be honest. So you can enter Google Tag Manager codes, you can enter your GA pixel, or you can enter your Facebook pixel or your LinkedIn pixel, so that it all stays available to you when it comes to the behavior of your attendees. Next, there's a wonderful feature that's been introduced just recently, and it's called source tracking. So that allows you to create custom links that you can then attribute to your preferred channels of attendee acquisition. And you can have alternative source of data to put up against Google Analytics, probably. That's the industry standard, and you really can measure the most effective way of driving people to your webinars, and then you can sort of shift more assets towards that solution, so that it's more easily scalable. Then you've got paid webinars, which is a feature that I won't be able to show you guys because I do not have my billing integrated. But trust me, if you integrate your Stripe account, there's a whole wide world of possibilities to make money based off your knowledge, to make money off all the skills that you guys have. And we do have countless materials on that on our blog posts, or on our YouTube channel. So I highly recommend you guys go there and consume them all and put them to good use. Another one is security. And again, that's just something that we're very proud of, because we've got the waiting rooms. You can employ a coding belt to make sure that no one sneaks out the footage that you've been working hard on, as well as you can protect your room with a password, or you can ticket it, so that no random people show up to the event, and then you have sort of this attribution of ticket to attendee in place. Engagement is a very important feature that's been in our platform for a couple of months now, and it's tied strictly with certificates. But the engagement module allows you to gather intel on the activity of your attendees, on the actions performed by your attendees. So let's just give it a sample name of test, and give it a 100 maximum points. And you can set up all different criterias of engagement. So for example, you can base the point attribution on the attendance, or the browser inactivity, or the attendees' answers in tests, and you can have all sorts of different logic employed, and then you can issue certificates based on the criteria met in the previous previous menu. Finally, advanced, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I rarely do use them, those advanced settings, because it really is just the easiest of them all, a way to sort of get a room and then just go with it. But you absolutely have all the different twists and turns available for you to make this experience uh, ultimately as personalized as it's possible. So let's just hop on to the room itself, and I'll be very glad to show you guys around. Let's just wait a bit. It has to load up. We are ready now. I'm just going to quickly get rid of the all the pop-ups that we have. So this is the room. This is the webinar room that is, just a basic setting. I haven't tinkered with it that much within the settings, but there are some core functionalities that I'm absolutely eager to show you guys. First of them, the most important one, the one that actually concerns, I think, 99% of our attendees, is turning on audio video, and you can do that by clicking this camera button, and there will be a pop-up from which you'll be able to select your audio and video sources. And once it's done, you should see your face in the top right corner. Another one of those key functionalities is sharing your screen. So in order to do that, you're going to have to go to Tools, click that plus icon, and then fifth option from the top, Share Screen. That's where you are getting all the wonderful information on how to share your screen. You'll be able to select a window, and you can go ahead and run your webinar from there. So yeah, those are two core functionalities that we do offer, and that are, I think, industry standard. You got a recorder that's baked into the software, and all the recordings are being stored on the cloud storage that we do provide with our solution as well, and they are easily distributable through a single URL file. We do have a number of different functions. You can have your custom call to actions. So let's just add one, and let's say try out our PF24 deal. And I'm going to preview this. So this is the call to action that might be programmed by you guys at any given point of the event, and it can go live for as long as you wish, so that you'll be able to prompt people to a particular resource, towards a particular direction. So let me just buy an account. Yeah, why not? I'm not going to add any links to that, but you can see buy an account, and that's how it works. So you've got all those conversion driving activities that are available to you at your fingertips. You've got closed captioning, which is a very powerful module, and it enables you to sort of cross over all the different languages and cultures and reach out to your followers worldwide. And that's also out there for you to play around with it. Tests and surveys. This is a very, very powerful module that, paired up with engagement functionalities, allows you to sort of create courses within LiveWebinar and issue certifications right within the platform, all in one place, without having to resort to any other external solutions. So it really is an all-in-one package that we support here. So let's just go with the survey. Who did better? And this is the admin view. as a participant, that's the screen that you would see. So you've got two questions: who did better? For now, I'm going to say John, and I'm going to go to the next one. And right here, I'm going to go with Claudia, and I'm going to send my my answers, my replies to that poll. And now going back to the manager view, I can see the percentage of questions, of answers, that to which my attendees have committed. And it's all available in the post-event analytics as well. So let's just finish and close the poll, and let's just go ahead and then have a very short test. Again, the admin view, but I'm going to go with the participant. Let's just say I'm great today, and that's it. And now you can see all the different information that quantify it and qualify it as a test. So we've got a passing percentage. You can attribute points to that, and then based on the points thresholds that the attendees might achieve, you'll be able to issue certificates. So there's a depth of functionalities at your fingertips, ready to go. All right, so I think those are the core functionalities covered right now. So we are going to revert back to our presentation, and yeah, I'm looking forward to your questions. So be sure to ask them if you have any. That really must have been a very good presentation from my end, as there are no questions so far. I'm just gonna wait a bit more, because there might be something overdue. Yep, I'll fully agree with my colleague right there in the chat. If you have any questions, be sure to message us at support@livewebinar.com in order to iron all those things out. And yeah, be sure, just one last reminder, to put the BF24 code to a fantastic use this Black Friday. And yeah, minus 50% off monthly plans for all new accounts. The code will be valid until 6th of December 2024. Once again, code BF24. And yeah, with that accent, with that bombshell, I'll end the webinar. So many thanks for your attendance. Many thanks for your attention. Countless thank yous for spending your time with us this Wednesday afternoon. Although I've seen people from US, so it might be a morning for you guys. But yeah, all the best. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and hopefully talk to you soon. Bye bye.